Hi, I'm Jack Dunigan of thepracticalleader.com. We're starting a new series today in Lessons in Superlative Leadership. We're going to be talking about how you can get more done. The series is called Effectiveness, and this is episode number 1, Your Unfulfilled Potential. And I'm going to tell you the story of Robert and what that means to you. So stand by. Now, Robert's a fellow I knew when I lived in a different city. Very effective fellow, really well known around town. Great guy, really great guy. Robert got an awful lot done. He was the head of a small group, very busy man. He was singularly responsible for the redevelopment of downtown districts in 2 small cities. He also created an arts district in a neighborhood that had been filled with blight, crime, and decay, brought that back into something that was really loads of fun and a great spot to go. He sat on the boards of a half a dozen more companies and foundations in the community and in the region. And he has taken the organization that he started from nothing to something really significant in just a few years. He was a great guy. Now, there's 2 reasons why, and that is, first of all, he's a very capable person. Robert's talented. He's highly educated. He has a great work ethic. He works really hard. He knows a lot of people. He's amiable. He's friendly. He's an all-around super fellow. And he's a very concerned person. He's not concerned about himself. Robert wants to make changes in the world, and he's willing to apply himself and his organization to making those changes happen. Now, the Roberts of the world think farther ahead and at a deeper level than most everybody else. Because of these tremendous personal attributes that they have, these are really movers and shakers. I'm going to suspect that you're watching this because you're like him. You are a person of considerable attributes, and you think farther ahead, and you think at a deeper level than almost everybody else. Well, Robert got a lot done. People of the world like Robert get a lot done in a remarkably small amount of time. They seem to be able to do anything and everything. But this is a problem, and here's why it's a problem. Because your circle of concern, which is represented by the outer circle, is always greater than your circle of ability. Always greater than your circle of ability. Conscientious, people of ethics and integrity, people of great ambition and desire have a very broad circle of concern, but their circle of ability does not reach that far. You need other people to help you make that happen. Robert found it too daunting to release responsibility to others. He had done some things, and he was so busy doing what it is that he did that the idea of trying to release something to somebody else just seemed too challenging to him. On more than one occasion, he's attempted to do that, but he's picked the wrong positions to fill. I'm going to elaborate on that in just a few minutes. And he's filled them with the wrong candidates. I'm going to elaborate on that in a future episode. Let me say this again. On more than one occasion, when he did attempt to add others to his team, he's picked the wrong positions to fill, and he's filled them with the wrong candidates. Robert finds the task of helping others to stay motivated to be too distracting and too draining. Again, this goes back to number 2 there, filling the wrong positions with the wrong candidates. Number 4, Robert just doesn't want to take the time and the effort to channel the activities of others who are unfamiliar with him and what he does and where he intends to go. He just doesn't want to do it, so he just does what it is that he can do. He could do a lot more, but he doesn't. So when he does consider sharing the load, he thinks almost entirely in tactical terms, not strategic. He thinks of handing off tactical tasks. But he already has people to handle filing, paperwork, phone calls. Those are tactical tasks. People can handle those sorts of things. They're typically low-level employees. I don't mean that in a disparaging sense. I mean that in the job that they have to do is mostly shuffling stuff around an office or handling those sorts of on-hands tasks that have to be done. And he found people to do some of those. And he's still too busy. Even though it would mean getting more done if he hired a different type of person to do a different type of work, he just doesn't do it Partly because he doesn't see why, and secondly because he doesn't see how. His circle of concern remains far outside his circle of ability. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen for me. I don't want it to happen for you. And this is how you can fix that. You employ the principle of multiplication. Here's the problem. Robert and the Roberts of the world do not need to add people. Let me say that again. You do not need to add people. You need to multiply yourself. Robert needed more people like him. People of vision, people of ability, people of responsibility, people of a strong work ethic, people who could take a project or a task in general terms and figure out the specific things that need to be done. People with strategic mentality who could figure out the tactical terms that need to be done. Robert was hiring tactical people when he needed to be hiring strategic people. That may apply to you too. I would imagine so. That's why you're watching this video. To reach the highest levels of accomplishment, you need to discover what are those things that only you can do and do only them. One of those we're going to start talking about in next week's episode in this series. One of those is beginning to decide how much you could do if you really had the right sort of people to do it with you, not for you, with you. All right. I do not mean finding more people to do filing, answering correspondence, or answer the phone. That's something you're probably already doing and doing well, and you're still not reaching farther towards your circle of concern. You're keeping your responsibilities presently taken care of, but you're not getting any farther. You need to find people who can handle higher level projects, initiate action, shoulder responsibility, and of course be accountable. You want and need people who can see as far as you can see. All effective leaders learn how to extend their reach, multiply their effectiveness, and divide their work. That's what they do. Not by working harder or more efficiently or longer, but by multiplication, by recruiting, training, and releasing others to extend your reach, multiply your effectiveness, and divide your work. How do you do that? We've been showing leaders how to do precisely that since 1972. We've done it in nearly 30 countries around the world, and we can show you how to do that too. In the next episode, we're going to begin discovering and defining what you could do if you only had the means to do it. And by the means, I mean more than money. I mean the people. See you next week. Well, we hope you enjoy our weekly videos, Lessons in Superlative Leadership. And if you'd like to subscribe, click on the subscribe button just below this video. However, YouTube has made some changes so that even though you are subscribed does not mean you will get a notification. The next thing to do is to click on this little bell right next to it, and you will receive notifications every time one of these comes up. We'd also invite you to visit our website at thepracticalleader.com, where you will find loads of articles and other information to help you become an even more effective leader.